The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The legend of Sleepy Hollow takes place in 1790 in the countryside near a Dutch settlement known as Sleepy Hollow. This area is known for its ghost and the haunting atmosphere that plagues the imaginations of its residents and those who visit. Some residents say the town was cursed during the early days of the Dutch settlement. Inhabitants of the town are subjected to supernatural and mysterious occurrences. They often experience trance like visions and are frequented by strange sightings, music, and voices. The residents of Sleepy Hollow are fascinated by the spooky tales of the area, haunted areas, and superstitions. The most well known ghost in the area is the Headless Horseman. He is supposedly the ghost of a soldier whose head has been shot off by a stray cannon during battle. He rides around the night looking for his missing head. The story of the legend relates to the tale of Ichabod Crane, who was a lean and lanky schoolmaster from Connecticut. He was extremely superstitious. During his time in Sleepy Hollow, Crane is able to make himself useful to the families that reside with him. He occasionally helps with farm work, mending fences, caring for animals, and cutting firewood. Ichabod Crane also helps the mothers of the town by helping to take care of their young children. He is a believer in witchcraft and such. Crane took joy in visiting the old Dutch wives and listening to their ghost stories, which included tales of the Headless Horseman of the Hollow. Throughout the story, Ichabod Crane competes with Abraham Bron Bones for the hand of 18-year-old Katrina, the daughter of a wealthy farmer. Crane, an outsider, sees marriage to Katrina as a means of wealth. Abraham, the local hero, is unable to force Ichabod into a physical fight and plays a series of pranks on the superstitious schoolmaster. The tension among the three continues for a while. One night, Crane attends a harvest party at the wealthy farmer's home. He dances, eats, and listens to ghostly legends told by Abraham and the locals. His intentions are to propose to Katrina after the guests leave. His intentions are, however, ill-fated. After having failed to secure her hand, Ichabod rides home on his horse throughout the woods in Sleepy Hollow. As he passes several haunted spots, his active imagination is heightened by the ghost stories told at the party. Ichabod encounters a cloaked rider at an intersection in a swamp. Startled by the traveler's eerie sights and silence, Crane is horrified to discover that the rider's head is not on his shoulders but on his saddle. In a hurried race to the bridge adjacent to the old Dutch burying ground, where the horseman is said to vanish in a flash of fire and brimstone, before crossing it, Ichabod rides for his life, desperately urging his horse down the hollow. While Crane and his horse are able to cross the bridge ahead of the ghost, Ichabod turns back in horror to see him rear his horse and throw his severed head directly at him with a fierce motion. Crane attempts to dodge, but it's too late. The head strikes his head and sends him tumbling from his horse. The next morning, Ichabod has mysteriously disappeared from the area, leaving Katrina to later marry Abraham. The only thing that remains of Crane's encounter are his hat, his horse's trampled saddle, and a mysterious shattered pumpkin. Although the nature of the Headless Horseman and Ichabod's disappearance that night are left open to interpretation, the story suggests that the horseman was really Abraham in disguise and suggests that Crane survived the fall from his horse and fled Sleepy Hollow in horror, never to return but to live elsewhere, or perhaps was killed by Abraham himself. The old Dutch wives continue to tell stories about the belief that Ichabod was vanished by supernatural means, and a legend is created around his disappearance and sightings of his spirit.